Oh God, money. That's all she do. That's all she do is sit there and run a mile. When they really got there and try to got them put that press on them, she don't want no smoke.
Thank you, T-Pain.
Oh God. We doing all that extra ass shit. All y'all that's over here, y'all know me, y'all know what's going on. Yeah, that's why look, I'm starting rooting me up.
They need to root your ass up.
Thank you,
Knock your ass off me.
Yeah, that's what's going on. You see what I'm saying? Shit, I already know it ain't worth it. Shit. But then just the thing that's holding up, I keep telling her, let's just out of non-contest. You keep everything. You say it's yours, everything. You keep everything. Okay? So,
tell her, hey,
when you go goddamn sign the shit over,
thank you,
I sign the divorce. Let them decide how much. Let them decide how much I'm gonna pay her child support. But she keep out there coming there telling me, oh, I want $600 a month. So how you gonna tell me how much you want? Let the judge tell us. You feel me? Dragging it on.
It is disturbing.
If you do, that's what.
Hey, y'all, listen. It is disturbing. It's something that happens every day in life, right? So it's something that we do need to be aware about. At the same time, if it is triggering for you in any way, please feel free to step out. Please feel free. And I agree with what you guys are saying. Look, two things can be true at the same time, right? The same way that she could have possibly left, but she is a battered woman. He could have kept his fucking hands to himself. Hold on, y'all. Rhonda coming up. I think it's very sad. Like them children, they done lost their they done lost their parents, right? So yeah, it happened on Friday. So it is a very disturbing thing. But go ahead, Rhonda. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. I was just wanted to piggyback off a little bit that I heard Alex say, and she was talking about teach our sons to keep their hands off of the men. And I totally agree with that. I'm not here to justify anything that man did because he was DEAD wrong. But I also want to put out there that, you know, some of us will raise our kids, our daughters, saying, oh, men don't hit women and this, that, and the other. And then those girls are antagonizing those men and putting their hands on the men and not expecting a retaliation. Some of these men don't have nothing to lose. So teach your daughter to keep her hands to herself and try to stay out the line of fire. So that's what I want.
My mom, she taught like us, like she taught me both. Like she was like I ain't put my hands in no damn body in there. Has it been a couple of times when I was younger and I pop a nigga in their throat or whatever? I have. I can't. I'm not gonna yai. There have been times like with the youngest like that. But my mama also told me like everybody's mama don't teach their sons how to put their hands on girls, right? You know what I'm saying? Like my mama taught me the same thing, so I knew what I was getting myself into when I popped the motherfucker in his throat. I knew that
he ready to fight.
I knew it could go either way. You know what I'm saying? So everybody just keep your hands to yourself.
Yep.
Okay.
Like, I always said, if you put yourself in a position, you put yourself in a man's position, it's a good chance you might get treated as such.
People definitely have normalized these toxic ass, crazy ass, stupid ass relationships, and they think that that's the way to like show love by like arguing and doing all of that. And it's not. It could be so much peaceful.
Well, that's all I wanted. Thanks for having me up, Tyra. Go ahead, put me back in the
I appreciate you, baby. Yeah, you're good. Hey, Realist, how you doing, Pooh?
Hey, Tyra. Hey, everybody. Hey, Jack. So I just wanted to say real quick, so we did hear correctly, right, that he walked in on her in the works, cheating on him, correct? But
that's what one of the brothers said or something. I don't think that did he say that?
I think that's one of these videos that y'all was playing. I'm not really sure, but it was the
I think it was one of the brothers that was like trying to justify.
Yeah.
He said, damn, y'all, I must have missed it.
The moment where he beat her for 3 hours or whatever. Wasn't that moment when
Yeah, that was the brother who said it. That was the brother who said that he walked in on that. Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to know, I don't want to know. I just want to say the simple fact, like when it gets to an unhealthy spot like that, when you are at a place where you're going to disrespect your partner, like bring somebody in the crib and have intercourse with them in the bed that y'all sleep in, I feel like that's the type of shit. I know any nigga that I deal with, they're going to go upside my head if they walk in the house and catch me laid up and doing that in their crib, in our crib, our house together. I know that. So one thing, and then I'm listening to this recording right here, and I'm listening to this recording right here.
can't imagine what I would do if I walked in on some shit like that. You heard me?
Absolutely. And so, and then I do know that in, and if that man beat you like that before, right? Why on earth is it right now? Why y'all on live playing around? You on the phone with your friend? Why are you joking and playing like this man won't do it again to the point of unalivement? Why do you think that this is a game? Why do you think that you can laugh and joke in his face and talk shit on the phone with your friend? And why, I feel like it could be as simple as one of us removing ourselves. Like, yeah, he ain't got to sit there and talk about you while you in the house either on live. Like he could have left, went outside or something and went live and popped his shit, whatever the case may be. But I think that it was to the point where we can't come up here and say, we got to learn we got to teach our kids this or both of them, we are grown ass adults and both of them they're in a tit for tat ass situation. It's a tit for tat situation. They're acting childish. That's all this boils down to, was them being childish, and they gonna keep poking each other until the next one snap. That's why I feel like they didn't believe, okay, when one snapped already, all right, you ain't snapped hard enough for me, so I'm gonna keep messing with you, fucking with you until you for real snap. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely was doing a lot of that type of shit. And she was doing a lot of kikiing. And when she was like laughing and saying like, let me put on my shoes, I gotta die about this though. Like that really took me back. Like, girl, what?
Did you think he was playing? Why did you think he was playing? Yeah. I would have left the house then. Don't threaten me. I'm finna go get my homies, my uncle, somebody. You're not finna tell me what's finna happen to me like that. I'm gonna take that threat very serious. Very serious. Exactly. Ain't no reason I'm finna still be kicking and ha-ha on the phone with my homegirl, and this man just told me what it was. And then on top of that, we have previous history with him beating me for 3 hours at a time.
Crazy.
I'm not finna let you show me. I'm gonna listen to what you telling me.
So, realist, my intentions was not to offend anybody with saying people need to raise their sons. People do, right? Because if the numbers are high, skyrocketing with women being unalive, that's not a coincidence. It's because people are harder on their daughters than they are their sons in a lot of cases. Because they don't think that they coddle a lot of boys and men. That's a fact, right? So her laughing could have been a defense mechanism. When you're not in a position, I think it's easy for us to say what we could have did. I don't think in any way, shape, or form she was okay by kikiing and shit. Like I said to Tyra, I would have got my ass up out of there. But we can say what we would do when we not in it, right? When you dealing with an abuser, it's easy. It's not as easy to just be like, let's go. A lot of people record for their safety. A lot of people go live for their safety. It's not a matter of them trying to antagonize more. I think that she was in a state of shock, hearing what was going on and the laughing. You ever been around a nigga that be harassing you at the club or the bar, and you laugh at that nigga at the bar or the club, but you not laughing for real because it's funny? You laughing because you scared because he won't leave you alone.
He's beat you before, right. So call the police. Take the proper measures. You on the phone with your homegirl for what? Call the police.
Hold on, honey. I feel that 100%. But calling the police could have. Sooner, because she called the police and he feels like, look how she trying to put me in this predicament. Realist, I'm not opposed to what you're saying about her getting her black ass up out of there, right? Because he showed all the signs of being a weirdo. However, it's easier said than done. That's all I'm saying. But and then too, a lot of us in our community, we got Stockholm syndrome. A lot of y'all should have left the niggas that you dealing with, but you didn't, because you were so hopeful that he would change, be better to you, and look where you at now. So at the end of the day, and that includes me, right? So at the end of the day, I think it's a matter of, it's easier said than done when we're not in those positions. I see a lot of fingers being pointed at her. Oh, he deranged. Oh, he toxic. Okay. But does that negate the fact that the nigga should have kept his hands to himself, and her as well? Me getting on your ass should not result in me being unalive and my family have to bury their daughter. It's that simple.
I don't think that she.
I know you don't, honey. I'm saying in general.
I don't think that she deserves that at all. But I'm just saying, when you felt like you wanted to sleep with other men, the relationship was over then. Y'all should have literally been adult about it, went y'all separate ways. I don't understand. And of course, everybody, we're going to bring up the roots, soul ties, all of that. But let's be realistic. Why would you continue to put roots on somebody that's clearly not respecting you, not valuing you, not giving you what you want? So you're going to keep bigging this person for that, or they're going to keep showing you that they're not going to be what they want, and you're going to still keep dillying and dallying, and then y'all get to this place. Like that banter that was happening was very childish. I didn't feel like
And a
any
lot of us
mercy
would
was
have been
from her.
unalive realists. A lot of us have made dumbass decisions over a man. A lot of us
What
have.
I'm saying is that girl talking about let me lace up my shoes. She was talking about how I could beat your ass. I can square up with you. I can go 1-for-1 with you. Come on now. What?
Well, I think that she was saying lace up her shoes because she felt like he was getting ready to beat her ass and she needed to
Right.
That's what
run.
I'm
But
saying. We all, a lot of us
see,
been in this shit.
for me, because I dealt with mental health, but I've never dealt with like my spouse or something putting their hands on me, and I know my attitude and thinking about my kids and who we are. Well, I've never been through it. I'm sorry, but we don't know what their past was. At some point, as women, we have to learn. You know what? This shit ain't even worth it. Excuse my French. At some point, if you have kids, nothing else is worth it. Period. Because I'm sure this was not the first time.
It wasn't. They said it wasn't. Hey,
Period.
Classy.
So
Next
she
class
should
get in
have
there real
knew.
quick.
She should have knew if he didn't beat her butt before. She should have knew. You know what? And it's on live. If that had been me and you coming at me like that, I'm sorry.
That do walk away and still get alive. I think y'all still missing the point. What about the women that walk away and their life is taken? There's a common denominator here.
But look, he was in the house on live.
That's
While he
not
was on live,
I'm sorry,
I
ma'am.
would have just walked out the door
Yes,
and
ma'am.
left.
But yes, ma'am. What I'm saying, yes, ma'am. That's not what I'm asking, though, ma'am. What I'm asking is, what about the women that do leave and they're still alive? Because I hear y'all saying,
But when
just
they
leave,
leave, where
just
they
leave, just
going?
leave. What about the ones that have left? Somebody put in a comment section in Tyra live just now. There's a woman that divorced her husband and he unalived her right outside the courthouse. She left. Right, so this is what I'm trying to
Right,
understand.
but
Y'all
that's my
sentiments are
thing. She
confusing.
still would have been here right now. We don't know what's gonna happen in the future. We have to think about the now. Right
Okay,
now.
and I'm asking you, Miss
Who
Queen,
gonna-
what's the common denominator?
Hold on, Queen. Let her get it out.
I'm
really
asking
quick.
you, just follow, y'all follow me. All in the live, follow me. When women leave and they still get unalived, what y'all saying, leave, and they leave, and the men
That's
take
a
their
total
life.
different story.
Hold on.
Different story.
When women, just hear me out, honey. Listen, when women leave and they're still unalived, and then women stay and they're still unalive, what's the common denominator? Unhinged men. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand.
Well, see, for me, I wouldn't have never went back because you got one time. You have one time.
Okay.
Saying that when you are a battered woman, it's never that easy. Which some of us understand and know that we know that it's not that
But
easy.
I'm saying, I want it. I want. This is what I would like everybody to do. And this is mental health. Switch the roles. Switch the roles.
Real quick, Queens. Because Class has been trying to get in there. Go ahead, Classy.
Yeah, I just want to get in and get out really, really fast because now it's getting to the point where I am getting a little triggered. And I'm gonna come from somebody who followed Duchess on Facebook. I've always followed
Oh
her on
wow.
Facebook. So she started out, a little funny, her lives anyway, and then it got to a point where it did get real toxic. And I'm coming from a point where I have been in a physical relationship like that. So I'm coming from both aspects when I say what I am about to say. When it comes to Duchess and Frenchman, God rest both of their souls, right? Both of them were wrong. Both of them had issues. Both of them were toxic. Yes, she could have walked away a long time ago. Yes, he could have also walked away a long time ago. They had a tit for tat relationship and they could not let each other go. People have tried to tell them time and time and time again, y'all don't need to be together. Y'all need to break up. Y'all don't need to have no kids together. And they turn around and still had a baby together that was just recently born, not just a couple days ago. Not even a week ago, if I'm not mistaken. And then they keep going back to each other, right? It's weird behavior, right? So we playing this game to where, okay, it's her fault because she didn't stay, but it's his fault because he shouldn't have put his hands on him. In a sense, both of them are to blame at some aspect um in the situation, because neither one of them had to go back. There were times where they put their hands on each other, not condoning what he did, because he is absolutely 1,000% wrong. He should have never put his hands on her. He should have walked away. So she should have too. But she has to want better for herself. We can say all day long that us as women, like Alex, this goes with what you were saying. What if the woman do leave and they still get unalive? That has happened a lot, plenty of times. I could have been in that number, not even gonna lie, but the grace of God, right? So we just have to be mindful that this is a real life situation. People is really going through this. We can't put ourselves in those shoes. All of our situations are different. We can just go based on what we see. Based on what we see, both of them was a little they both a little thrown off, but he was not playing with her. She was playing too much, obviously. She knew that the reason why she said she was gonna lace up her shoes, let me tie my shoes up because because I know you're gonna beat me when I'm done. She said that out of her mouth. She knew what was finna happen next. And unfortunately, she made a poor decision and still chose to stay. And I hate that for her, and I hate that for the kids that they left behind. And I hate that for him as well. They both left kids behind. That's my biggest thing. It's two kids, a newborn and a toddler, 2, 3-year-old that have been left behind that will never know anything positive about their parents.
Right, because
And
he
that's
chose
what
her
it
to lie.
boils down to.
Right, but
Babies that are left here because both of their parents are gone because of poor decisions that were made. Yes, he did unalive her, and he then after that he chose to take his own life, and I hate that for him. But both of them still played a part in everything leading up to this. Let's call a spade a spade. Even in my own situation, there was times I know I egged some stuff on. I know my mouth fly. I know I said some things that I should not have said, or you know what, I should have laid it cool, or I should have just left it at that time. It doesn't negate the fact that you are absolutely 1,000% wrong, and you are still accountable for what you do. But I also am grown enough and responsible enough of myself to hold myself accountable as well and to see where mistakes have been made. And unfortunately, due to both mistakes, him being the common denominator, he's the big cause because he didn't have to do what he did. But now 2 children have no parent. That is my main thing.
You right,
Two
Classy.
babies have no parent now.
Yeah, you right about that part. You
and
right.
you know what? I'm not disagreeing with none of that. What I'm trying to get y'all to understand is mental health.
Baby, mute. I'm on a panel.
It's,
We
it's
know it's mental health. It
when
all
you
ties in
deal it,
together.
no,
That's
when you
fine.
deal
Talk, right? And we can all get our thoughts out, but we can't hear each other if we're over talking, right? Queens, let Nikki get her thought out really quickly, and then you can get yours. Y'all can't hear me? Y'all can't hear me?
I heard you loud and clear, Tyra.
Okay. All right.
Heard you.
Okay, go ahead, Nikki. Go
But
ahead.
yeah, like, and the only reason why I'm saying it is to say this. Me being in that relationship for 8 years and almost losing my life, honestly, when you're dealing with something like that, you know when it's a game and when it's not. And you know when somebody that you are involved with like that is serious and when they're not. So trust and believe, she knew that could go either way. I chose to back off of it when I seen it getting serious like that. But everybody don't do that. And let's be clear, everybody don't just walk away because it's not always easy to walk away. No, it's not. But egging it on and doing all of that stuff, she was playing Russian roulette with her own life. Clearly, that's what she did. And the only thing that makes me mad about it is she did not think anything about those kids. That's the only problem that I have with the situation. Us as adults can make our own decisions on whatever it is that we want to do. But when you bring kids into it, you just can't. It's unacceptable. And she didn't think about those kids at all. Yes, I feel bad for what happened to her. And I'm pissed that he even did it to her. But at the same time, we got to call this what it is. Because you see that when it comes up. When it comes up, you know it's somebody being serious. And you know how far they're capable of going at the same time. That's all I'm saying.
You know about that, Nikki. Because I don't know about that part. Go ahead, Alex. Yeah, okay. Hold on,
Oh,
y'all.
oh,
Really
I can
quick.
wait. I can wait.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over top of you. But hold on, guys, really quickly. Let's tap the screen. I know that this is a sensitive subject. If it's too hard for you to listen to, then scroll out, go find some fluffy puppies or something like that, okay? Because I know that this can be tough. A lot of people go through this in real life. And it can be a rough subject. So, and I don't normally hold panels, but it's something that we looked at it, and so we're talking about it. So we could all just go one at a time, and it just be smooth. We can have just a regular conversation. Bianca has something that she wants to say. She hasn't she hasn't been able to speak yet. So go ahead, Bianca, and then Alex, you can go, and then Diva.
Hi, Tyra. Thank you for having me, and hi to everybody. I wanted to give a perspective. I agreed with a lot of what Alex said, and I also wanted to state that this is clearly like triggering. It's bringing out a lot of anger and frustration, especially in Black women, because I think we're feeling like we understand that ultimately we're the leaders, and this is a prime example. And I think what's also unfortunate is that men aren't going to be having these conversations. So once again, when this plays out, typically the blame is going to be put on the woman, not to mention the fact that we're all blaming her to a degree, because regardless of her mental health and his mental health, ultimately the responsibility is going to be put on her that she should have made a better choice and she should have made a better decision. And it's taken some of the major accountability from him. So what I get from this is that the more these things happen, I'm a mother of daughters that are 23 years old. And that would be one of my biggest fears, is them running into a situation like this, because Black women have been taught that you need to accept a certain amount from a man, especially a Black man. Give him a chance, give him an opportunity. So no matter how accomplished you are, you're making yourself vulnerable. But then if you choose too high, well, you're too picky. So it's like it's a no-win situation. So ultimately, I look at this as a time for Black women to heal. Ultimately, we're going to have to be the change makers to love ourselves enough to change the language that we're putting out there and have a higher standard for relationships. We can't be so desperate for a man or so desperate to have somebody in our life where we don't care what they come with. And make sure that we addressing our issues. We got to stop trying to be partnered with people that we think are going to take the responsibility of the job of healing our wounds and us healing their wounds. We're clearly not equipped for that, nor should we be. So we need to stop prioritizing relationships and prioritize being good human beings and operating in love and kindness. And so to me, I just send my prayers out, especially to her, because I really feel like she really didn't understand the gravity of the decisions that she was making. And I also agree that we got to raise our sons to be better human beings and to really understand that to heal yourself before you get into a relationship with somebody. So the last thing I'll say is we really got to be clear about our messaging. Do we want Black women to lower their standards and give a brother a chance? Or do we want Black women to have high priorities and make sure that they choose, a better partners? And if that means picking better partners, it means that the standards got to be higher.
I appreciate your thoughts. Thank you, Alexandria. I appreciate your thoughts, for real. Like, that's y'all, this is tough. It's a rough situation, but at the end of the day, we have to know that one thing that we all do know is that Black women are the least protected and the least respected, right? Like, a lot of times. And a lot of times we can be y'all keep on tapping the screen, please. Yeah, that girl Brittany, you can definitely talk. Are you even up here? I don't know why QL wanted you. Hey, young whippersnapper. Alex, I think that you were next, or was it, hold on, or was it Diva? Go ahead, Alexandria.
1 second.
Yeah, go ahead, baby. Diva, did you have something? Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, one of the things for me is I'm just like, I'm never finna be the one that's gonna be like, oh yeah, you can keep antagonizing somebody's son, right? Because if I have I only got one right now, and it's a girl, right? But if I did have a son, I'm not out here finna be on some like, yeah, you know, even if she hit you, take her life type shit. I don't think nobody actively tells their sons to be a terrible person. Like, well, can't say that. But generally speaking, when somebody came up and was like, oh, I tell my son to protect himself, there's nothing wrong with that, right? However, when it gets to a point to where it's taking a step further, that's when the issue comes in. My issue is throughout this whole conversation, I ain't really heard nobody say he should have left. She should have left. She should have left. She should have left. And
I
I'm
did
listening.
say that, Alex.
And I'm listening. Okay, so then I apologize, Classy. You know, we rock together. When I'm listening, I'm like, but okay, so then I'll say this. I'm wrong for saying that nobody said it. Generally speaking, in this conversation, I have not heard the majority say he should have got his tail up out of there when she was antagonizing this man. What I'm hearing folks say is, well, she shouldn't have poked the bear, and that's why she gone now. What? Instead of he don't got no free will to get his black behind up and leave the house and go away too. And this is what we talk about when we say there is so much there is such a high demand for women and girls to be better than the sons and the men in the community. I am not pro her pissing this man off. However, I am seeing more people be pissed off with this woman than being like somebody's son should have saw that this woman is annoying, toxic. I would have probably wanted to whoop her ass too. But instead of that, instead of them being like, you know what, he should have walked out. She shouldn't have. I seen one of them put in the comments, somebody named Tangi. She shouldn't have poked him and provoked him. Excuse me? I don't care how mad my son is. Get up and go so that you don't have a record on your name. And furthermore, you're not the one that we have to bury in a couple days. And it's that simple. I don't know what's confusing about any of this. Talking about both is wrong. How both wrong, but one of them unalived? What are we talking about?
I think a lot of people have
Yeah, they both unalived.
They both are unalived.
Right, but one of them unalived both. She was wrong, but he took 2 lives. In order for them to be both wrong, both of them had to execute somebody being unalive. She provoked it. She was wrong in that sense. But to try to measure them up to the same level of being crucified is diabolical when he took her life in his. This is why men and this is why I take men's side sometimes. Because y'all push for men to be better. Well, you want them to be better, but you don't push for them to be better. A lot of these men could be amazing men if women would stop making excuses for their poor behavior. I get where some of these men are coming from. Y'all talk about men being terrible people, but you birth them and don't encourage them to be better people. So stop coming down on men when you baby them their entire lives. It's not men that's the problem. It's the women babying them. It's that simple. Like, make it make sense. Both is foul at the end of the day, but somebody took the life. That's it. That's all. The fuck I don't get it.
Wow.
Okay.
This is all
Yeah,
Go ahead. I'm sorry, baby.
I was gonna say I totally agree with what Alex is saying. Like at the end of the day, we can't be saying that everybody is accountable when one person is responsible for playing God in this situation. We don't have the right to decide who live or die. But as I said before, the man is completely out of line, but we also have to look at this woman's behavior because there are men out there that feel like they ain't got nothing to lose and they will do stuff like that. So us as women, we have to remember I ain't gonna say our place, but we can't be pushing them and pushing them and pushing them. And again, like I'm saying, nothing he did was right. He is fully accountable for playing God, and I didn't like that at all. But we as women have to encourage each other as women that we can't be out here antagonizing these men like that because some of them just don't have anything to lose and they will do what they got to do or what they think they supposed to do. So we have to stay aligned with ourselves too and make sure that we not pushing them just as well as they make sure that they not pushing us. It's a same. No one man or woman is bigger than the other. We out here fighting for these equal rights and everything, but we saying, oh, the woman should have did this or the man should have did that. No, the woman and the man shoulda. But the man is out of order for what he did when he chose to play God. Period.
Can I say something?
I agree.
Do we not realize that this girl was 26 years old and he was 36? Does that play a factor in anything?
Yes. Clock in.
Yes, it does.
Because at the end of the day, he was 36. He could have walked away, correct?
Thank you for the subscription, ladies, though. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
At 26, you can walk away too. Yeah, I agree with you. I hear
at
you.
the end of the day, she's 26. She's immature.
She mature enough to know when danger is about to strike. She's mature enough to know when danger is about to strike.
And he is
That's
as
exactly
well.
what I was saying.
He is.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not on either side. Both of them. I'm not putting either.
Saying that, like, when you go through certain things or you're with somebody or something, you know when they really finna snap, especially knowing that he had mental issues. You know when they finna snap. That, I promise you, what he did to her is probably ain't the first time that he tried to do it. He just succeeded this time. But I can guarantee you it ain't the first time he done did something to her that could take her out of here. That's a fact.
How do we know she didn't have mental issues?
But let's check this out. But check this out. She was a. I'm sorry.
That's what I was saying. I was just saying we knew for sure that he did too.
But what if she has some mental issues? You don't know.
But check this out. She's 26 years old, a CEO. Right. She's trained in de-escalation.
Okay, there's a lot of people that have high degrees that are insane.
Let me say this really quick. Hold on, that girl. Hold on, Rhonda, real quick. Hold on, really quick, y'all. Hold on, really quick. Time out. I'm gonna say this. My granddaddy used to always tell me if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. You understand me? At the end of the day, this is a woman whose life was tragically taken, and he took his life. We have had a bird's eye view to be able to see, like, because they put their shit on live, right? And this is something that unfortunately is very common. I feel like the conversation, right? And I know this can be triggering. A lot of people have went through this or whatever. But one thing that I'm not in the business of doing, right, is blaming a woman or is blaming a victim. At the end of the day, she's a victim of her life being taken, right? So her life has been taken, stripped from her children, this, that, and the third, because they argued. They both said a lot of things. It was disgusting, the things that she was saying. It was disgusting, the things that he was saying, right? They both said a lot of things or whatever, but does that warrant her life being taken? No. And unfortunately, this is a very common situation. This isn't something that's uncommon at all. At the end of the day, this woman's life was taken. Like, was she immature? Like, yeah. Was she taunting him? Yeah. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that her children should have to grow up motherless, right? We got enough motherless children out here, right? So that's that. And I do need to rotate the panel. I think that I do have somebody trying to come up. Oh, no, never mind. So y'all go ahead. But I just wanted to throw that.
I don't think that she deserves that. I don't think that she deserved it. I just think that she knew it could be a possibility. I don't think that she deserved it. But all of the stuff that we see now that go on these days with what husbands are doing to their wives and wives are doing to their husbands. I mean, if I had kids, I do have a son. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I would think about. You know what I'm saying? Going through something like that, because it's a possibility. And it's not nothing that we don't know, because like somebody just said, it happens. These things happen. So you always have to keep that in the back of your mind. That's all I was saying.
And I'm not blaming her. I don't think she's the fault at all. I was just speaking to the part in which it's saying, oh, well, maybe she was too young to realize what she needed to do. That's what I was speaking to. This is not her fault. This is not her fault.
No, it's
but
not.
To say she was 26 years old and she was too immature to know that danger could strike, she's a CEO. She has de-escalation skills. I don't believe that she was too immature to know that danger was in her face. That's what I'm saying. And it's not her fault.
I'm gonna say something real fast. So just because you have de-escalation skills, that's totally different from being with your spouse or being with your man. Those are two different scenarios. Two, we're comparing strangers, your job, something you were trained to do in regards to your household. I'm not thinking about using de-escalation skills on my husband, or my boyfriend, whatever the case may be. That was the furthest thing from her mind. If I don't know nothing else, I know that one thing was the furthest thing from her mind. She's not thinking in that aspect. She's not. I honestly really feel like in that moment, unfortunately, she just was not taking it serious because it was a repeated cycle. And because of him not being able to have the strength to move around in that moment, he made a very dumb mistake and took her life and then turned around and took his own life because he was too coward to face the consequences, right? Let's just be real about it. When homicides happen, that's because the person takes a life and then they coward out and they take their own life. So he gave himself an out. So nobody else would have to give him an out. He basically didn't want to go back to prison because he already been there before. But her being a CO and having those skills, you're not thinking about having to utilize those skills in your own home. That's the farthest thing from her mind.
Not when you know your husband's
Hey,
everybody.
I spoke to
Can
those
I chime
skills
in
to
for a
back up
minute?
her to back just real quick. I just want to say this real quick, 2 seconds. I spoke to those skills to speak to her level of maturity, not for her using it in her household, but to speak to her level of maturity of knowing what she needs to do.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Just to put a disclaimer out there. Hey Tyra, hello everybody in the panel. Hello everybody in
hello.
the comments. Hi. I have a lot of different reservations about this, but coming from a psych major, we also have to look at the levels. I know, did everybody see the movie Straw? Did everybody see that movie?
I
Yeah, I
did.
watched it.
Okay, now imagine the movie and let's go over the facts. He was in prison. He married her in a halfway house. He left her 100K. They had land together. He comes home. He feels violated. He catches up with another man. She has STDs. She done inherited what? Insurance money. There was deceit. There was all kinds of stuff. She belittled the man, and I'm not victim blaming. I'm not pointing any fingers. We're looking at the facts. Both of them had some form of mental illness. First of all, just because she was a correctional officer doesn't mean that she has the wherewithal to take off one hat and put on another. I was a victim of DV, and a lot of the times I can say, yes, I challenged that man
Yep.
because sometimes we feel as though what we've learned, what we saw, what we ingested, what we watched on TV, our friends, families, or anybody else, when you're in the situation, your mind is releasing so many different chemicals. You got fight or flight, you got panic, you got anxiety, you have so many different emotions that's going on for the both of them. He had nothing to lose. He was humiliated, okay, for one. His manhood was stricken, for two, and she really violated him thinking, okay, this is my wife. Imagine people that's in the service that come home, whether if it's a man or a female, and they come home to a cheating spouse. Then on top of that, you getting STDs. Then there's no money. It's just a ball of so many hardships and shortcomings that it's either one of their faults. They were both toxic. They didn't deserve to be married or be together at all. Period. It's unfortunate that she lost her life. She played Russian roulette. She challenged a man. Period. Yes, he could have walked out. Yes, she could have walked out. But let's be honest. She really provoked this situation, and it's unfair. Yes,
Can
she
Can I
played Russian
speak,
roulette with her
please?
life.
Go ahead, Diva, because if I do, you know what? I'm gonna run lap. Let me go in the bathroom and calm myself down. Because even you came up and said female and you call men men. You don't even see women as women, but you want us to believe you're an advocate for women. Go ahead,
Ooh,
Diva.
Lord.
Let me get
Tyra,
Can
myself
I
together.
Tyra,
speak? Can I speak?
Tyra, go ahead and swap
Well,
me out,
using
baby. Swap me
female
out.
versus woman, is that an issue?
I would like
I
to
can
speak.
change the word and insert woman.
I guess I'm just confused as to why we keep taking up for this man. That's crazy.
Can I speak, please?
Go ahead.
I would like to start by saying I
Yeah,
was
go
raised
ahead.
by a very strong woman who taught me not to take abuse. But through my teenage years, I met someone that ended up abusing me for no reason.
Thank you.
Mm.
He said we was walking down the street and I got beat up because he said I looked at someone. I'm supposed to look at the ground. So I would never blame or victimize a woman for abuse of any form. And my mom taught me not to be abused, but I was afraid of that man. He beat my ass for no reason. He told me look at the ground because I was pretty and other people looked at me. And it made him feel shame. It had nothing to do with me.
Thank you, Alex.
So you could become a victim and you could be taught not to be victimized. And it can happen to anyone.
Right, but
But
they
it
were
happened
both
to me.
wrong. They were both wrong in this situation. I don't understand what y'all not understanding. They were both
She's
wrong.
already been victimized
Nobody was
prior.
right.
Sometimes the victim start to fight.
Literally.
When you become a mother
How
and
did
you
she
have children
fight?
to
It's
protect,
called reactive abuse. It's you react to your abuse. It's like and then y'all keep forgetting he turned her phone off. So she was like,
Exactly.
what are we talking about at this point?
I'm so confused at this point.
Y'all like I
And,
would have been
and
okay
here's
with
the
my
thing.
phone
He
off.
said it. Here's the thing. He said it. Thank you guys for the heart meets. Thank you guys. Please tap the screen, y'all. I know that this is a tough conversation and I know that it can be heavy, right? So here's the thing. Prioritize your mental health and what you can take and what you can't take listening to, right? I don't want for anyone to be triggered. That's the first thing. Second thing is he kept telling her, yeah, he did keep telling her that he was gonna, it was very evident in the videos that we watched that this was like a normal thing, that he was an abuser and she was used to being abused. And that's the sad part about it, right? That's the part. Can we all agree to that? That he stated that he was an abuser and that he would, bitch, I'll beat your ass.
and
Yeah,
she was
yeah,
fighting
most
back.
He is
definitely.
so aggressive.
Yeah, we
Yes,
can.
I
Most
can see.
definitely. Yes,
Kept
guys.
saying it. So, here's the thing. He admitted that he's an abuser. He said that a lot of times, right? And it's escalation. Like we always tell people, like, get out, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. But exactly, she's not responsible for his actions. At the end of the day, she is a woman. I don't care. I'm a woman. I don't believe I have a brother that's 5'3", and I don't for a second think that I can beat his ass, right? I don't ever want to get in the paint with him, right? So at the end of the day, thank you guys for the heart moves. Let's push some populars. Let's do some things. But at the end of the day, it's sad. It's sad all around because just like Classy said, these children have lost both of their parents, right? Like their mother is gone. They are nothing, right? Like that's the big picture. It's sad. So I mean, we could talk about it all day, right? But the apology will never change the impact, ladies. Remember that. Exactly, Sam. Go ahead. I don't know who was next, but y'all can. I think I need to rotate the panel. I think I got somebody trying to come up.
Take me, Tyra. Go ahead and put me down, babe.
Okay, Rhonda, put your request back in if you want to come back up, baby. I appreciate you. Thank
Very
you.
well. Thank you for having.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that. I thought you were done. Go ahead, that girl. I think that you had some other things to say too.
I don't understand why we're still taking up for the man. And when you're in a situation, yes, you can sit back and you can look at a situation and say, "Oh, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that." But at the end of the day, don't nobody know what they would do if they was in that situation. So I don't like to put the blame always on the victim because you don't know what you're gonna do. She was just in that moment and she didn't know what she was going to do at that moment. She probably took him as a joke because she didn't think he was serious. So at the end of the day, trying to blame somebody because you feel they should have acted like this and you don't agree with what she was doing and putting the blame on her. That's crazy to me. That's all I gotta say. That's just crazy to me. And we don't. It's crazy how everybody just. So at the end of the day, there needs to be some on his part, and nobody's seeing it.
Well, I agree with you. I'm here for her because I know what domestic violence is. And I know you cannot do nothing and still end up being abused. That very same individual went to jail, and that was my way out. And when he got home, he was looking to kill me. And I stayed hidden for a long time because I did not want to run into them because I, di- I didn't want to go back into that torture. He tortured me, kept me from going home to my family. It was horrible. And when he did catch up with me, he told me he was going to kill me.
Nothing to be sorry about, Tangy.
When I asked earlier, Tyra, when I asked earlier, and I have yet to hear actual response, because I know that a lot of us was raised to be seen and not heard, right? When I'm asking, I'm waiting. I'm gonna ask again. If everybody is saying, "You don't poke the bear, don't poke the bear" when it come to men, because they might take your life. What about the women that leave and get the hell up out of there and they still got alive? What about that? That's
Exactly.
quite a common denominator when it comes to you being unalive, whether you leave or stay. Who's the common denominator? Since everybody's the problem, who's the common denominator? Number one and
I
number
did
two. Can anybody
answer
The
answer
that.
that?
person who commits the
I
act.
did answer. Yeah, I did answer that. I
Whatever.
said, yeah, I answered
They choose the
both of
bear.
your question. I did answer both of your question. With you making a general statement, if you are speaking in regard to decides to walk away, if the victim decides to walk away or stay and they are still unalive, it is still the other person's fault. It is the suspect's fault, hands down. Right? That is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So in this instant, it is on him. Like I said plenty of times before. Did she do some messed up stuff? Yeah, she did. You know what I'm saying? But it does not condone the fact of what he did and the things that he was saying to her. Every single last threat that he made to her, he was threatening her throughout the whole entire life. He threatened her with a poker. If you know what I'm trying to say. He threatened her with guilt. You know what I'm saying? He threatened to take her life. That is not okay. That is never okay. I'm finna drop. All I got to say is, please don't be afraid to speak up. If you are experiencing anything like that, please don't be afraid to speak up. Please let this be an example, and please just walk away. Seek all types of help. If you have family that you know that you can reach out to, please seek help. Please, 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 please seek help. Please, you can survive. It's survival. It because this happens too much. It's becoming the norm now, and it's becoming sickening. Now kids don't have a mother, they don't have a father, and they don't have a mother. A newborn baby does not have a mother.
Classy, before you go, Classy,
Can I clarify something real
I don't want
quick?
Classy to drop
I
yet. Hold
need
on,
to
because
use
Classy
this
gotta
as a
go.
teachable moment. Can I use this as a teachable moment? I may be ignorant to this, because somebody made a comment in the comments about me saying male versus men, women versus female. Can someone enlighten me or highlight and let me know what the mistake I made? Because I really don't track either one of those, male versus man or woman versus female. I just wanted to clarify that. And that's the first thing. The second thing is I wasn't
Yeah.
pointing fingers. Sides mentally during the courses of the events. I was not pointing fingers. He is definitely no justification for what he did. He is definitely in the wrong. But what I'm saying is let's look at what was happening mentally with them all the way up unto the act.
Something I think we possibly are eluding the fact that in order to get to this place as a whole, we're debating the mental strategies and the deficits mentally and the discipline to hold our tongues and carry ourselves as women. But the thing is that in order for it to even get to this point, we have to understand that before anything is physical, everything is spiritual. And there is a lot of things that are happening in a spiritual atmosphere that I feel like maybe we're not getting to the root of. And so as a result of that, I think when we're in an uncovered territory, that tremendously changes the dynamic of situations. There are a lot of things that could have been done to turn away wrath. There's a lot of things that could have been done on either side to de-escalate the situation. And the tragedy at the end of the day is still the tragedy. People have lost their lives. Children are without parents. But we have to understand something. Whenever we are disaligned, and this is respectfully because I know that people have different spiritual beliefs, but I believe in God's word. I believe that whenever we carry our the ability for the enemy to have a foothold and have entry into our lives. And then we end up with all of these other things. If we go back and really unpack the situation on both sides and you look at what's present spiritually, whether it's infidelity, whether it's idolatry, whether it's lying, whether it's stealing, it's just this enormous mixture of a formula that so much equals this is an outcome that comes as a result of all of these things involved. And so I think we just really have to be very mindful of that. I've been a victim of domestic violence. There's been twice that I know I probably came really close to not being on the face of this earth. But then it makes me be accountable because there's been times I've been the aggressor. I've been the agitator. I've been, but you got to look at when she's on live, she's already humiliated. And I'm sure he is too. She doesn't want to look like she's just being ran over and he's letting her, she's allowing him to speak to her any type of way. You got to look at all of these other factors that are weaving into this dynamic because yes, she's laughing. She's the antagonist in the moment, but you got to understand everybody's mind functions differently depending on their level of stress, depending on their level of adaptability. And there's a lot that's missing from this equation. But I believe that the foundation for all of it is being spiritually disaligned and out of the protection of God.
Agree. I have to agree on that because there's a lot we don't know that happened prior to him starting that video. And when he did, he antagonized her pretty much until he got the response from her. So actually, he pushed and pushed everything he kept saying and everything she was defending herself. That's what I heard.
She was.
He was
I think my
aggressive.
discrepancy.
He was
I'm sorry,
drinking.
Tyra,
Did
you was
y'all
about to
see him
talk.
drinking the alcohol? He knew. I feel like he had his mind set and he was getting it started for the outcome to be what it was.
With that to a very extensive degree. And I just also think that in order for, we look at things from one side. And I think sometimes we feel like because a man is a man, and let me be very clear, I believe that there is a governing authority that you should be operating in the capacity of as a man. You are a protector. That is your job. If you can't protect the woman in that capacity, then you probably need to rethink being in a relationship as a whole. So I want to be very clear about that. But I also want to be equally clear that even when we look at the legalities of it, there is a such thing as the crime of passion. And it's because when people are in atmospheres where they feel violated emotionally, that is a very unsafe place to be for anyone, for the person that's the aggressor and the person that is the antagonist or the victim. And so when people's feelings are hurt, man, it is just a situation waiting to unravel, especially when you start factoring in all of the things that he's alleging, with the spiritual side of it. Anytime that there's an extra invitation for spiritual activity, I mean, it's a horrible situation just waiting to happen. And so everybody has to operate in hoping that there's some grace there. But God bless both sides. I pray healing for their children, because this is a very devastating and unfortunate situation, and I would not wish it on anyone.
Hi. Tyra, before I go, did you want to say something? Are you good?
No, baby, go ahead. I'm sorry. I do have a box battle.
I'm gonna let Trish go. I think she want to talk.
Yes,
a box battle, so they're letting me know. So I do want to kind of get through this. I think the center was next. Oh, she's gone.
I do have a couple of things I want to say. Strickland. This is Strickland.
Hey, Strickland. How you doing?
Oh, beautifuls. How y'all doing?
Hey, well, how are you?
I'm doing good. Okay, so I think I know what you guys are talking about, but I'm not sure about the case. It's been so many.
So this was a recent one. It was a man and a woman, husband and wife. They were arguing on Facebook Live, and he unalived her and then unalived himself. It was a lot going on in the video, but that's the basic.
The gist of it. Okay, so can I just give my opinion and I'll drop for anybody that wants to.
Yeah, absolutely.
First thing, everyone is not spiritual. Everybody ain't spiritual. You gotta look at it that way. Second of all, we gotta teach our children better. Girls and boys. But now let me say this. Hi, Hurricane. Your mouth should not get you unalived. Especially with somebody that said they love you. I love you, but I'm just take it out of here. See, that is not that, and that goes back to the emotional abuse that our men, and I'm gonna say women too, because women abuse too, that they are enduring in these homes. So we need to be careful, mothers. We need to be very careful. My third thing is, why would she be, and we deserve better, so don't take this offensively, please. Why would you, as a CO, be with someone that you know been in prison? I'm just saying what everybody else don't want to say. I'm going to say it. Ma'am, you knew y'all was unequally yoked. Really? Find something else to do. We as black women we are wonderful. We are great. We are creators. We are people that bring life into the world that nobody else can bring. We can bring any color baby you want. We deserve better. We deserve so much better. She was a former CEO, but she shouldn't have been with him. She shouldn't have been with him. And then somebody said something about her being 26 and him 30 something. You know what? She was still trying to figure herself out. All of us been there. All of us have been there. So I'm not going to even take that from her. Sir, he should have just gone in the bathroom, took his cell phone out of here, and let everybody live. Now, that's what should have happened. My thing, somebody said she was a former CEO, so now I'm wondering, what was her weapon? Ladies, if you don't do nothing else, save that money, go and get yourself some classes and get your pew-pew, because they out here and they on a rampage. You don't know who to trust. We deserve better. That's all I gotta say, because I'm sitting back now and I'm thinking, we can't say that her mouth should have got her pew-pew. That should not have happened. He already had that in his mind, but he wanted to take her out too with him.
I agree with you. If I could just clear up something that I said in regards to the spirituality aspect of it. I did give that disclaimer when I first opened and stated, I get it. Everyone is not a believer. Everyone is not spiritual. But here's the thing about that. Irregardless of where your position is, if there is one spiritually or not, we're not scientists either. But does that mean we defy the laws of gravity? No, gravity still applies to us. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, and whether we take that position, that's right. So, whether we're spiritual or not, it doesn't make us exempt from the way that the workings of this universe and the laws of God's word are governing us. Like, we don't have to understand, we don't have to have a single degree scientifically to understand that if we go jump off the side of our house, we're going to fall. It's gravity.
Let me say
And gravity
this.
is going to be gravity.
Let me say this right quick. I was in a 10-year domestic violence, covert narcissism relationship. So I understand exactly what you're saying. Now, just because I said that,
So
let me say
disheartening.
this, I am a licensed and ordained
Give me 1
minister.
second, Strickland. I appreciate you. Give me 1 second. It is so disheartening to hear so many women say that they have been in these type of situations.
Yeah.
It is heartbreaking.